Hello, and welcome to my art vlog number 2. So I got straight back to work, not really stopped. It's been a busy 2 weeks. I did this watercolour painting of the ex-estuary, which I'm really pleased with, and which is now sitting proudly on the wall. And yeah, I think that's one of my favourites from my recent scene. Been working hard on the wall mural outside, the landscape, which I'm doing with acrylic and brushes, a little bit of spray paint, but mainly acrylic and brushes, and adding detail, building up the undergrowth and the vegetation. Dad and I went off for a little trip down to Broadsands beach, which is a lovely spot and is quite the quintessential British seaside experience. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much more about that. We had a nice time. It's a beautiful spot, and and I snapped this picture, which turned into a painting later, and I sat with this view and did a little plein air landscape whilst I was down there. Which was absolutely lovely. The hound loved it there, of course. The hound is always happy when we go out to places like this. He loves the sun, he loves the other dogs, the people, all the attention, all the fuss, and all that jazz. I sat there and painted the view, and it wasn't what I was sort of planning on painting. It wasn't that view in the end, not what I painted in the end. But it was a lovely sky. I was really in just the whole ambience. In the end, I sort of saw that and thought, yeah, maybe that's more the sort of the angle. Yeah, that's kind of what I painted, which is more looking over towards Goodrington. And yeah, I've sort of opened my mind a little bit as to what to paint and how. The whole sort of switching to painting in portrait rather than landscape, it really changes the game and allows me to focus much more on the sky, which is the thing I enjoy painting the most. So then I got back to work on the wall mural again and painted the sea, and the waves came out a little bit too big, although I really think they look rather good. They just look a little bit like tidal waves coming in on the beach, which we can work around. This was just about the point when the heat wave was about to kick in. I think this was the day before it got really hot. And that did put a bit of a sort of spanner in the works. I managed to paint a bit on the first day, but then on the second day it was just like I was in full recovery mode from the first night. Never known heat like that in the UK. We had it coming. Everyone else has been getting clobbered. What can I say? Working on the trees, looking good, isn't it? It's coming along nicely. Just building up the background vegetation there, and yeah, painted this, which I'm really pleased with. Actually, I think it is one of my favourite paintings that I've done recently, or maybe ever, actually. Yeah. Now that's looking lovely, isn't it? So I'm really pleased with how the outside wall mural is looking. Flowers, I was going to add some more flowers, I don't know, might still. I had to add some more lighter vegetation for the tree, and that's looking nice. Yeah, just sort of building it up, really. I mean, when I work with spray paint with this kind of thing, I tend to have sort of 2 or 3 cans with me at the same time, and I'll sort of build it up more kind of sort of aiming to finish areas as I go. Whereas when I work with paint and a brush, I tend to be more sort of focused on doing one colour at a time, because it just sort of seems easier. You got to give the paint time to dry, because one of the good things with spray paint is it dries super quick. Which you don't get with acrylic paint, although you do in this kind of temperature. So, you know, it's still a big learning curve for me, this kind of painting. But I really enjoy it. I think there's pros and cons to working with different formats, you know, and I think depending on what you're painting, where, when and why, you're always going to work with different mediums. I'm really enjoying working with brushes at the moment, because I just feel it gives me so much more versatility. And frankly, the waste of spray paint, all the chemicals involved, it's just a big not unless I need to. Yeah, that's looking good, isn't it? Nice getting these up in frames on the wall, enjoying looking at them. Dad and I went to a new spot down in Kingsbridge called the Crab Shack, had a bite of lunch, and I did a very quick painting of the view, which was literally like a little 30-minute sketchbook type thing, which I think looks really nice. It's the first one I've done like that, and it looks good. We then continued on down to East Portlemouth, which is just on the other side of the Salcombe inlet, because it's not an estuary. There's no river comes out here, and that's a common mistake that people make. There is no river comes out. There are rivers which drain into the waterway there, but it's not a river mouth as such. We continued on down to the water's edge, where we found a lovely little kind of inlet that even at high tide, some steps, a kind of old kind of jetty that was just sitting there, that was just in the most magical location. Never been there before, absolutely loved it. It was a beautiful spot, and so we carried on along the beach. The hound was in his element. I mean, you put the hound on a sandy beach and he just loves it, absolutely loves it. I must admit I was loving it as well, and even with a bit of cloud, that just made for the sort of better atmospherics. And yeah, I found myself a nice little spot, plonked my chair down and got to work painting that, which was just sort of a very early stage of it. I got gazumped by the tide which came in, so I had to finish it when I got home later the next morning. And yeah, that's another one that's come out looking really nice, really pleased with that. That's up on the wall now as well, part of the summer collection. So yeah, if you like any of these paintings that you've seen on here, then feel free to contact me, and you can offer me a price, because that's all my work is available at Name Your Price. So thank you for watching this so far. Oh, there was more.
Welcome back to Bobby Dazzler YouTube. I'm down at Galmpton today, and yeah, it's gorgeous. Bit of a front sort of sitting over the hill over there, but we've got some nice blue sky over me here. The River Dart just over there. The tide's out, which isn't ideal, but I think I'm actually going to make it work to my advantage, because yeah, there's no reflection, but there kind of is. I don't know. There isn't. I'm gonna see what I can do with it. Let's paint.
And it rained. Yes, it came in and rained, and we had to leave, which was a shame. But in fact, actually, the tide was out. It wasn't really the best time. Beautiful sky until you come right over to the left here, where you see the big bank of cloud coming. And within less than half an hour of taking this film, it started raining and had to bail out, which was just the way it goes. Sometimes you win some, you lose some with the old plein air. You just have to take that on the chin. The next day I went off to Dawlish on the train with the hound, and we walked from Dawlish all the way down to Dawlish Warren, where there's this lovely, massive, great big beach, where I stopped, and guess what I did? Can you guess what I did? Can you guess? I didn't do handstands, I didn't build a sandcastle, I didn't go swimming, I did throw the ball for the hound, and yes, you're right, I did do another little watercolour painting. Which, yeah, really just sort of went for the sky atmospherics there. This is about halfway through. I stopped to have some lunch to discover that a seagull had stolen my lunch. So, no lunch for me. That's probably the seagull there flying past, little bastard. It's probably scoffing its face on my lunch right while I was taking that film. That was a bit disappointing, really. So I had to go back and finish it with no lunch. But it still came out looking pretty nice, I think. And then we bailed and got one of the worst pasties I've ever eaten in my life. So, yeah, it's been busy, it's been fun, I'm painting lots, I'm enjoying it, I feel like I'm really growing as an artist. Thank you for watching this vlog. Please feel free to reach out and help me turn this into an actual living. Cheers!